hashtags, long captions, what time of day you post, what actually matters in social media marketing in 2025. Hey, I'm Jodine. I'm the host of the Social Smarty Show. Welcome back. Now, if you have ever posted a piece of content on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, maybe on TikTok, and you've sat there and you're refreshing, and you're thinking, no one is seeing this post. I have done all the things that the internet told me. I have all the hashtags. I've written the long thought out caption. I've posted when my target audience is online, and yet still no one is seeing my post. Well, this is the episode for you. And also, you are not alone. I'm hearing this from small business owners all over the place. They are really struggling with reach at the moment. So today I'm going to be breaking down what you do not need to worry about, what we're going to say goodbye to in social media marketing, and where we actually need to focus our time and energy. So let's dive on in. Okay, first up, let's have a chat about how social media platforms have changed. Now, in the past, when we wanted to get people to see our content, we had to build an audience. We created our social media channels, we created our Facebook page, our Instagram account, and then it was all about building that audience. We would run competitions, we would run ads, we would do all sorts of things to get followers. And then when we posted a piece of content, that piece of content would go out to a portion of our followers. And way back in the day, the content would go out in the order it was posted. So it was a chronological feed. So when we opened up our feed and had a little scroll through Facebook, for example, we would see content in the order that it was posted. And it was also really important to get engagement in that first hour when we posted. So, because of that, we can understand why it was so important for us to post when our target audience was online. So, we would push out that piece of content, we would know the right time of day, we would even use tools to help us analyze when our target audience was online. And then they would hopefully, in that first hour, engage with that content, which would send a signal to the platform and say, hey, this is good content, push it out to some more followers, some more of that audience. And that's why the time of day that we posted was so important. Now, the other thing that we used to do that we don't do anymore is we used to search using hashtags, particularly over on Instagram. So we would search hashtag wedding shoes, for example, and it would bring us up a feed of content that had been tagged with that particular hashtag. So it was a great way to search through the topics we were interested in. And then we could take it a step further. So we could actually follow hashtags. So we could search up a hashtag of a topic that we were really interested in. We could hit that follow button, and that would send a signal to the platform, to Instagram, that we were really interested in that topic. So along with posts from the people we're following, also pop posts into our feed that have been tagged with that hashtag. It was a way for us to curate our feed. So that's why hashtags were so important back in the day. And we used to literally put 30. 30 was the maximum we could use on Instagram. And you better believe I was using all 30 of those hashtags on my Instagram posts. Now, the other thing that was really important back in the day was writing a really good caption, because people would read those captions. That's how we connected with people. I was not creating video content back in the day. I was sharing glossy, professionally taken photos of myself in the early days, and it was all about writing out that caption. And so what would happen is we'd tell our story, we would connect through those words, and that's how we would connect with people. But we know now that the platforms are prioritizing video, and the video is doing a whole lot of that heavy lifting. We're actually connecting now through video, more so through video, less through those captions. So these days it's all about video. Video is the thing that is helping us tell our stories and build trust rather than those long thought out captions. So if hashtags are not so important and those long captions are not so important, and it doesn't really matter when we post because getting it at the right time of the day isn't so important, then what the heck should we be focusing on in 2025? Well, let me break it down for you. Number one is content. Content is king. And yes, I know we've been saying that for a long time now, but more so now than ever before, your content needs to do the heavy lifting. So because we can't rely on the time of day and the captions and the hashtags to get the content to the right people, the content itself needs to speak to our target audience. It needs to be so relevant to them. Imagine you are creating a TV channel just for your target audience. What kind of shows are you creating? What would they find entertaining, funny, informative, educational, all those sorts of things? That's what we need to focus on with our content. And then along with that is we need to think about that hook. And I know everyone says that. It's all about the hook, the hook, the hook. What the heck is the hook? Well, the hook is the thing that stops them scrolling. That can be something visually, something unusual, something that grabs their attention. It can be words, it can be a question, it can be a statement, it can build curiosity, it can be a little bit controversial, it can be anything that stops people in their scroll and gets their focus on your content. Because the second they stop scrolling and focus on your content, that is sending a signal to the platform that this person is interested. In the social media marketing world, we call this dwell time. The longer someone dwells on your content, the better. And what it's doing is it's helping the platform understand who that content is relevant to. It's looking at the people who are dwelling on that content and pushing it out to more people like them. So the hook is super important. Keeping people's attention is super important. And then on the other side of that is searchability. So people are using social media platforms as search engines. They are going to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok to look for local businesses, reviews, products, services, recipes, all the things, activities, what to do, what's happening in their region. They are using the social media platforms to find that information. Can they find your content? So remember earlier on when I said that the caption isn't quite so important? Well, yes and no. We do need to make sure that there are keywords in our caption because that is what is going to help with the searchability. So when we think about the way that hashtags work, keywords work in a similar way, but we don't actually need that hash symbol anymore. The hash symbol is just kind of irrelevant. I mean, I still use it because we're so used to that formatting. But in reality, what I'm doing instead with my hashtags is thinking, what could someone be searching? What words could they be typing into the social media platform to find my piece of content? And if I haven't already included those in the caption, if I haven't written those out in written form, that's what I'm using my hashtags for. I'm adding extra searchability to my post through those hashtags. Okay, now this one you might not want to hear, but it's pretty obvious. We need to be making video. I mean, you can't win at social media these days without focusing on at least some video content. The platforms are telling us that that's what their focus is. When we open up our feeds, we see so much video content these days. It is time, if you haven't already, to embrace video. I'm sorry, I know you don't want to hear it, but it isn't so important these days if you want to have effective social media marketing. And lastly, we just need to be clear. We don't need to be clever. We don't need to try and come up with, super creative ways of saying things. I truly believe that being really clear and speaking to your target audience will outweigh the really clever. I mean, yes, there are creative ways we can say things. There's creative ways that we can capture people's attention. But at the end of the day, I think being really clear about what you offer and who you offer it to is super important. Okay, so let's break this down into your tangible takeaways from this session. So first up, we are going to make sure we are creating some video content. If not all video content, but at least a good portion of our content is going to be video focused. We are going to focus on that hook, the first 3 seconds or even the first second of our content. How are we hooking people in. How are we writing our captions in a way that we're including search terms? We're not focusing so much around hashtags, but we're thinking about what words are people searching for to find our product, our service, our content. How can we include those in the caption? The other thing we're really going to focus on is speaking directly to our target audience and creating content for them. Literally, what would they want to consume? That's the type of content we are going to create. And then lastly, we're not going to stress about what time of the day we're publishing. You will not reach anyone if you create content and then don't publish it because it's the wrong time of the day. Just get it out there. The platform will serve it up at the right time for the right people if we've done all the other things that I spoke about. Okay, and the last thing I want to say is that the platforms evolve. You're not doing anything wrong if you're doing the same thing that you've been doing in the past and it's not working. It's not you, it is the platform. The platforms have evolved, things have changed, and we just need to mix things up a little bit. Now, if you're ready to create content that really converts and talks to your target audience, then I do have something that might help. It's called the Content Confidence Kit. It is jam packed with content ideas. It will help you get out of your content rut. So if you are interested, go and find the link in the show notes and check it out. It may just be the thing that you need to get you motivated and posting and get that content working for you and your business. Now, that's it for me here on the Social Smarty Show for today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love you to leave me a rating or a review if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed. I would love to see a thumbs up if you have a minute. And of course, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Until next week, stay social.